of business owners, from restaurants to beauty to financial side. We are looking for it all. Welcome back to Tears of Purpose Real Talk. I am one of your hosts, Elder Lakia Barnett, and it is a pleasure to be back before you on another great Wednesday. Hi, my two lovely co-hosts.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back, everyone. We're glad to have you.
Yes, we missed you last week, Miss Hubbard. Miss Hubbard been riding, y'all. She been riding. I'm about to spill all the tea. Her been just riding here, there, everywhere. She was down south and she came back on up to Atlanta. She's just been everywhere.
It's been
Did
fun.
you have fun?
Yes, I had a ball. Yes, I did.
So she has been having an awesome time, y'all. So we're glad to have her back. She's always missed either one of them when they leave. But so it's been great. So how's you guys Wednesday going so far?
Definitely
It's
busy.
cool. Yeah, mine's been busy too. Oh my God, it's been busy. But it's okay.
Yeah,
We're
real
here.
exciting. Listen, so we have a great show today. I am triple excited about this young lady. Of course, I had the pleasure of meeting her on Facebook, which is always a plus. I love networking, and it's so great when you can find other like-minded folks like us that have an awesome story, but also have some tips and some other things to like share with other people, because this is what this show is about, right? It's about inspiring, motivating. If you want to start a business, if you don't want to start a business, if you're about to walk into ministry, if you don't want to be in ministry, whatever it is, it's a whole bowl of gumbo, right? So Miss Chantel C. Mitchell will be joining us in a little bit. But before we bring her on, listen, we love the preview stuff. So roll a clip. Let's see what we about to preview today.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above all rubies. What woman in their right mind can honestly live up to these ridiculous standards? Certainly not this one.
Who can find a virtuous woman? See, I thought I was one. So, how did we get here?
Once you put anything before God, all hell breaks loose.
Oh, don't check me.
All right, that's enough.
Get ready.
Go on in there. Cry to God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
We have to be that man in order for them to be that woman.
Tell me you didn't just gamble away all my money, Anthony.
God saved Ant's life.
Please help me through this.
What if you were already the husband I needed? Excuse you.
I'm sorry.
Say it again.
But like, why did Aunt do nothing about it?
Trust me, Aunt's gonna take care of that.
I just want you to see what you got to look forward to.
What a waste of time.
You do it. Move.
Hey,
I'm angry at myself for allowing you to change me into this monster.
This is your mess. You clean it up.
You made this bed, now you sleep in it.
Are you gonna leave? Or do I need to shoot you in your knee?
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find a virtuous woman?
For her price is far above all rubies,
The heart of her husband? He will be trusting her.
so that he shall have no need of sport.
She do him good all the days of her life.
So, you guys, in case you don't know, that is Jamal Jones. He is a film producer from Indiana who will be dropping this film, Proverbs 31, really, really soon. And he will be a guest on our show again coming up very soon to come talk to us about more about this project and what he's getting ready to do. So, please make sure you follow him on Facebook and just stay connected to find out more about this great film that's getting ready to drop. So, last week, we had another film producer who came through who is seriously talented, and we can't wait to meet his wife because guess what? She be cooking, y'all. She be cooking, talking faith talk and cooking food at the same time. You gotta be beast. You understand what I'm saying? So let's roll this clip and shout out to Melvin Jean Cotton, who was on our show last week.
My
Y'all hungry
God,
yet?
I have to close my eyes because I'm so hungry.
Y'all hungry yet? This is the wife that be going down now,
My
y'all. And I was
goodness.
watching some of their series on YouTube because you can find their series on YouTube, and it is just awesome to me how her love and her passion for food shines through, which we need all of that because look, the times that we come in, we need folk that know how to cook stuff and do what we need them to do, and she is definitely one of them. So we can't wait to bring her to the show. So, are you guys ready to meet our guests? And first of all, I need y'all to be tagging and sharing all up and down your timeline because this is what we do. Sharing is caring. And I'm talking about even sharing to your enemies. They need to hear it too. Amen. So go ahead and share, and get your family and your friends and loved ones into the virtual room so we can get ready to introduce this wonderful guest by the name of Chantel C. Mitchell. She's a motivational speaker and life coach and a domestic survivor, domestic violence survivor. So she has a lot in her resume that she's getting ready to spill today. So welcome to the show. Let's bring her up.
Thank you so much. How are you all?
Blessed and highly favored.
And to that.
Yes, amen. So, welcome to the show. So, we cannot wait to sit and just chat with you. You have a very interesting bio. Very interesting. It's like a plate of food with lots of different strands of food on it. And we're just like, which side do we go to? Because all of it looks so good. So, we're going to split this up.
But it'll all make sure you're full at the end. So, whatever you pick, you'll be full at the end.
She got the gist of it, y'all. Y'all continue to share. So I'm going to turn you over to Miss Hubbard. Usually she's our Kickstarter to our interviews. So we're going to let her warm you up a little bit and then we're going to keep it moving.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Mitchell, how are you?
I am doing fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So glad that you could join us.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
Just go ahead and tell us how you're quite welcome. Tell us how your story started. Give us a little bit of info.
Definitely. So my name is Chantel Mitchell. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. And I am a motivational speaker, a domestic violence survivor, gun violence survivor as well. I'm a mother of 6 beautiful children. One is serving our United States in the Army right now, and I have one that's going to be graduating this year. I just received my certification in life coaching, which you really don't need it, but I felt at least kind of just be able to study a little bit more about helping individuals. I just didn't want to jump out there. And I am also in the process of starting a podcast called Talking with Tell. And because everybody calls me Tell for short, but I'm in the process of starting a podcast called Talking for Tell. And what I want to do is I want to speak on topics that we especially in our culture, we're afraid to touch, which is the domestic violence. We have a lot of domestic violence survivors, but they're afraid to tell their stories because they're embarrassed. You have a lot of childhood trauma issues that we do not talk about, and we go out into society, into this world, trying to function, but we're definitely like dysfunctional inside. So I want to take my experiences that I went through in life, and I want to be able to help someone. Someone texted me today and they told me that my private pain was going to be a public message, because I'm not afraid to be transparent. Now, according to when God tell me to speak, because sometimes we can tell our business a little bit too much. But the things that I went through in life is my purpose. I want to be able to help individuals learn how to heal properly, because I'm going through my own healing stage as well. I'm in therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy, especially within the Black community, because it's a stigma against it. We don't want to talk to someone who doesn't know us. We don't want to learn how to heal properly. So I'm in therapy so I can learn, so I can heal properly. I didn't want to go out here and give my story, give advice, but then I'm not living it for myself. So I want it to be authentic. So now what I'm doing is I take the time to tell individuals the importance of pushing themselves into a healthy living regarding the traumas that we face in life.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. I mean, that's good. I mean, because I mean, you can't tell me how, say for example, you can't tell me how to stop smoking if you never smoked. So by
Right.
you going through what you went through, you can tell people because you've been through it, and that's a good thing. It's that's good. That's good.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, we thank you for that. That's going to help a lot of people. So as I was reading your bio, I read that you nonprofit and you named it I Got You Friend. So my
Yes.
question is, how did you come up with that name?
So it was like 2 years ago. I was telling myself, I want to start a nonprofit. I want to, because my goal is literally just to help people. I was a single mom
Mhm.
for the majority of the time that I had children. And I knew how it felt to not have someone at times, not all the time. I didn't do it all on my own, but the majority of the time I did. And it's that place when, when you ever in that difficult spot in life, no matter what it is, it can be a terrible breakup, it can be the job, it can be the raising the children, it could just be trauma. You want someone to say, I got you. Like, you want someone to be able to
Right.
lean on, and they got your back. So I decided to start a nonprofit organization, and it's still in the birthing stage. I'm still trying to figure out how to put it all together. But I named it I Got You Friend because I want my nonprofit organization, whoever is sent my way, whoever God brings to me, I want them to know that I got them in any way that they need that, whether if it's
Mhm.
the shoulder to cry on, whether if you need food. Me and my children, we actually started last year um, fixing bag lunches for the homeless. I always had a vision to adopt like a single mom and her children during Christmas time or during Thanksgiving, and fix a meal and give gifts and stuff like that, because I was that single mom when Christmas came. I wasn't able to put anything under the tree for my children. And even though you went the whole year providing for them, as certain times, where you feel like you want to give and you're not in the place to. And I was not in the place to really do any of that. So last year we started giving lunches to the homeless. This year we actually adopted a family at the beginning of the year, and we gave them groceries for a month. We created, sorry, I have an 18-month-old if y'all hear her screaming. But we also created like hygiene bags.
It's okay.
We created hygiene
Uh-huh.
bags for the homeless. So my vision and my goal is to just set a platform or a safe haven for individuals to feel like they have someone that they could lean on. and they don't have to worry about that person, you know, putting their business out or making them feel like they're wrong for being in the state that they're in. Because a lot of people suffer inside because they don't want somebody to say, I told you so, or they don't want someone to
That's right.
criticize them. So that's where I got you, friend, came from.
That's excellent. Excellent. I'm so proud.
Oh,
You
thank
know, and that's
you.
why the Lord, I'm sure if he walking out, he's going to bless you. If he haven't already, expect it. Because that's what he does. He looks at the heart, and you have a heart for people. So he's definitely going to bless you for that. We
Thank
thank
you.
you for that so
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome. So one other question, have you ever felt like giving up?
Yes, a lot. Many times. There were, like, seriously, there were times in my life where I did not want to live anymore. The only two things that
Mm.
stopped me was my children and the thought of probably
Mhm.
going to hell. So I told myself, let's stay for the babies, and I ain't trying to go to hell. So, but
Right, right.
honestly, like I you know, and that's the reason why I do believe, um, even within ministry, I know God has called me to ministry. I also want to take my stories and also go against the stigma in churches. And I mean, that could be definitely another topic, a different time. But, you know, a lot of our churches, especially in the African American community, we have taught women and men to stay in situations that definitely God does not want them in. We have definitely took scriptures out the Bible and we have used it to control situations, and we have allowed people to actually leave the side of the earth not reaping all of the great benefits that God has designed for them. So I want to be that woman to say, no, yeah, I know the Bible talks about divorce, but do you really think God wants you to get your head kicked across the room? Do you think God wants you to be financially abused, emotionally abused? No, like, we need to be able to tell
Mm-mm.
people that they have gotten themselves in marriages that God didn't ordain. Because some marriages we've ordained
Mhm.
ourselves. We just want to go in it. And it's
Right.
not ordained by God.
Yes.
Anything ordained by God will work. Even the hard times, it will come together because he is fixing it. So we have a lot of people who are sitting in situations, and their church mother, their pastor is telling them, oh no, you should remain there. And you know good and well, he ain't no Ephesians 5 man. You know you ain't been no Proverbs 31
No.
woman to even be in that. And Angie, that's for me now too.
Mm-mm.
That's why I'm in therapy. I'm
I know
dating, and
that's right.
we have our, you know, heads up, and he's like, I mean, how can you call yourself a Christian and this is the things that's coming out of your mouth? And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. As a believer, I shouldn't be handling you this way because God told me what love is like in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. So there are things that I have to fix within
Right.
myself, but using this, you know, my platform and my story, like, I want to go against every single thing that we have been conditioned to believe is right. Ain't even of God, child. It's not, ain't even of the Lord.
Right. 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 Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate what you
Thank
said and
you.
what you're doing. And like I said, God will continue to bless you. Be
Thank you
encouraged.
so much. I appreciate those words. I really do.
All right.
Lakeisha.
I am here. I'm here for it all. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Preach, sister. Um, so if you can name a few things that you love about being a life coach and just helping people get their selves together.
Besides the number one reason, helping people, I like to see growth. I just turned
Mm.
40 last month, and to understand that there are literally 40 and 50-year-old men and women that are still stuck in this little girl, little boy mind frame. They have physically grown, but mentally they haven't because of trauma. So I love being able to coach someone into being the best them for themselves. You know, so many people have um like just went through life just winging it. You know, they grew up, they just figured, let me put on this defense mechanism on what I should do or what they think they should do. And we are lost. So, and also I knew how it felt to be so broken. I'm not a psychologist yet. I'm going to be going back to school for my degree, but I know how broken so many people are. I have so many people around me that are broken, and to see them not heal properly, I want to coach them into, hey, it's okay to get a therapist. It's okay to let go of what happened. Like I was just telling my children earlier today, I said my goal is to not to allow my trauma in life to continue to be the story on why I don't grow into being a better person. I want to use my story to show people how I've grown into being a better person. So with life coaching, I just want to see people grow. Like that's literally my main thing, is seeing people grow and being okay with letting go, not getting the apologies that we look for from our moms and our dads and you know, friends or ex loves in our lives who have hurt us. It's okay to say you honestly forgive, learning what forgiveness is so we can be able to navigate through life properly and correctly, because a lot of us were not. And that's what I've seen, you know. So the number one thing I can tell you is helping people grow into being great.
Okay, great. That's definitely, we definitely all need that, because if you're not growing, then you dying pretty
Yeah,
much. You
yeah, you
staying in the
done.
same spot, and we're not gonna continue to condone this insanity. You stay in the same, and nothing's changing. So my last question is, have you had that client that you were like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do?
To be honest with you, like
But
the majority of the people that I have is like the ones that are kind of close to me, you know,
mhm,
and all of them get on my nerve. but
right.
I love, but I
But
love
you
them.
made,
Like
they
it
made it
comes,
to the other side.
yeah, you know. So they know, like when I'm like, hey, like this is maybe how you should look at it. And sometimes I think for me, it's the I'm not frustrated at all, and they get on my nerve in a good way. But it's the good thing of seeing those they take the advice and they
Mhm,
actually apply it. I think sometimes with me, I have to get out of my way and want them to get it right then, because I don't want people
mhm,
to suffer no more. I suffered for, I want to say 30 years, since the age of 9 when I was sexually molested. That's when it started for me. I didn't go to therapy until I was 38 years old. And let me tell you, me and my significant other, we got into this blown out fight. And he said, you need to go to therapy, which he was being like, you know, petty, you know, trying to make me, you know, that crazy, you know, you crazy. And I was like, you know what? No, let me go to therapy because something is really wrong. I am hurt because also as a domestic violence survivor, when I tell my story, I think most people, when you hear domestic violence survivors, you hear the story, what happened. But I also want to bring light to the fact that even though I'm a survivor, I was still hurting people myself. When they say hurt people, that's the truth. Because what I was doing was, before you get me, I don't want to ever experience that hurt that I experienced all those times when I put myself in these abusive relationships. And it's not relationships. I then turn it into this wall. And before you get me, I'm going to get you. And I was like, and I used to say to myself, like, no, hurt people is a choice. Cause look at me, I'm a nice person. I'm sweet. I don't hurt people. But then this is before I actually getting my life right with the Lord. I didn't mind cussing you out. If you hurt my feelings, I was coming for you. And then I realized, like, oh my gosh, Chantel, you are that hurt person. You are that hurt, broken woman. So, like, my main goal is to definitely tell my story. Miss Felicia is right. People suffer in silence with a mask on their face. A lot of people did not know, ever since I could tell you, some of my high school friends did not know the emotional and the mental abuse that I went through in my home. Because Chantel came out and she was this sweet, nice girl. Everybody liked her. She looked at like, I was looked at like a little sister. People didn't know what I was going through in my relationships, because when I walked out that door, I was still that that Chantel who likes to laugh and have fun, and I was suffering inside. And that's the thing. I want people to understand it's not okay to suffer. It's not okay to remain broken. So by all means necessary, if it takes me to be transparent, to encourage others to be transparent, or encourage others to get the therapy they need so they can heal properly, that's what I'm willing to do. And I'm a mother of 6 children. I have 4 babies that are about to literally be out my nest within the next 3 years. My oldest 4, they saw the broken mommy. My other 2 children gets the blessing of seeing me healed, but my oldest 4 saw me broken. They saw the emotional pain that I put myself through. But I have placed all of us in therapy to the point where my children can tell you their story and help other children as well. I have definitely encouraged them to give their story and what they experience as well, so that they can help individuals. But my job is, God's purpose for me is to help set his people free. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Elder.
You said a lot of key things as you were talking, lots of them. I love the fact that you're teaching your children that it's okay to go and get therapy. Mm-hmm. I absolutely cannot stand when people think that therapy is like, oh my God, I'm telling too many people my business, or they have segmentation of, we cannot go and get help outside of our family. Okay. And the devil is a whole liar.
Is a liar.
And it's
the crazy thing is, we tell ourselves, I don't want to go and tell some random stranger my business. Someone who has went to school, who is licensed, got a degree to actually help us. But we will tell like 25,000 other people our business, and then we get mad when they go tell this person and that person, and you're still broken. I've been like, I've been tired. I was tired of people knowing my business. I was tired of people not being able to help me. And that's what I want people to understand. Like, you're telling like 20,000 other people your business, who told 20 more other people your business, who also turn around and, so that's true. We have to get out of that whole mindset.
That is so true. So it's so many ways to like just kind of look at this. And I just hope that everybody who's watching or that's sharing down the timeline or who will watch it later, like really hear what you're saying, because you kind of gave us 2 sides of domestic violence that I don't think a lot of people talk about. The other side, about while you're in the domestic violence, you also can become an abuser. You can also become a manipulator. You can also become all the things that you are trying to run away from. So let's go back and let's talk about, I read in your bio about being having a near-death experience. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I can. So May 24th of 2014, actually, maybe for the 2 years prior to that, I was in another physical abusive relationship, because I've actually been in one before. But this one, I was pregnant. Just the amount of stress And it was just like one of the worst things ever. Well, I can remember after I had my son, my oldest son, he was 10 at the time. And he looked me at my face one day and he said, Mommy, if you're staying, and this is a 10-year-old, he says, if you're staying with him because of the baby, he said, we'll help you raise the baby, but we want you to leave. And at that moment, I was saying to myself, Chantel, if this 10-year-old child can tell you that he's willing to help you raise his brother, you cannot stay in this situation because you're afraid of people saying you're a single mom again with 5 children and another baby daddy. Like, you cannot stay here. So I went my separate way. It was not easy. It was the most roughest experience in the world because he would harass me, he would stalk me, he would do all kind of things. Well, this particular morning, the night before, I actually had him. He had a pending charge regarding CDV regarding me, but of course, I was scared in a sense. I just wanted the peace. I wanted everything to be over. So I still met him with my children at the Chuck E. Cheese because our son had just turned 1 that week. So I left, went to pick up a friend, and he was following me. Got back home, and he was just harassing me all day. I woke up that morning, and I said, I could literally feel something wasn't right. So I went to look outside my apartment door because he would usually hide on my fence line. So I didn't see anything. Get ready for work. I'm leaving my apartment. And all of a sudden he comes from under my stairs, cocked a gun, and put it to the middle of my forehead. At the time I had a friend there. It was a male friend was with me. He was coming down the stairs behind me. So I'm standing here with this gun to the middle of my forehead, and I'm looking down the barrel of a gun. And I told myself, I said, God, and my children were still upstairs. I said, God, if this is what my last moments feel like, I cannot let my kids find me outside with a bullet hole in the middle of my head. Like, that was in my head. Like, I felt I was going to die that day. But I didn't want my children to go through life finding their mother in that position. So when I went to brush the gun, I went to brush the gun out of my forehead, off my forehead. Because his finger was on the trigger, or because it's a revolver, from what I understand, a revolver, you can tap it and it'll go off. When I went to brush it, me deflecting the gun is the reason why I'm still alive. The blast went off. Like, I could literally hear this ringing in my ear. And if you ever watch movies, like, you see, like, they have this scene where everything slows down. That's everything slowed down, and my ear was ringing. So I was touching the back of my head because the gun was so close to me. You couldn't tell me that I was alive off of adrenaline. So I told him, I was like, you just shot me in my head. So he said, no, I didn't shoot you in your head, beep. He said, but he grabbed me by my shirt to drag me around the side of my apartment complex, and he put the gun back to my head. My kids end up coming outside because they heard the first shot go off. And I just remember them screaming, please don't shoot my mom again. Please don't shoot my mom again. And this white woman, I don't know who she is to this day, came running past her husband towards me with a guy who has a gun to my head. And that's what really, I guess, stopped him, my children, and this woman. And he took off running. So we went to court, of course, because the bullet didn't penetrate me. My case, I feel, was 100% botched because the detective that actually took my initial statement retired. They couldn't find my original statement. And because the blast was so close, it broke my nose. It looked like he assaulted me with the gun. but it's nothing but God. Like, I can't get them to understand how protected I was that day, because that's how close to death I was. But he was charged with attempted murder. But by the time we went to court, and they dropped the charges to CDV hand, and he got 13 years, and he will be released in 2024 because he was given 3 years time served, because he did like 2.5 years after the incident before we went to trial. And this is the reason why when it comes to domestic violence, I advocate, because the laws have to change. This person I dated, I was warned. But of course, when you are broken, you can receive warning, but you think that you can heal everybody, and you think that it's not going to happen to you. Officers end up warning me after incidents when I had to call the police on him that, he was going to kill somebody. And I told one of my friends when I left him, I said, if he don't get help, he's going to kill somebody's daughter, or somebody's daughter is going to kill him. I didn't know in a couple of months after saying that statement that I was the one that he was going to come after. And I am using my story with many others in regards to how we need to change the law, because he had multiple arrests regarding CDV. They did not use any of it in my trial. They refused to use any of his past records regarding CDV, which would have definitely convinced the jury that this was just not no assault. This was attempted murder. He was working his way up to it. And he was the prime example of when I use this statement. I like to tell women, if your significant other is emotionally or mentally abusing you, he will hit you. And if he is hitting you, he will kill you. It's not a matter if, it's just a matter when. So that's what happened to me. And I can only tell my story with a smile. And some people will be like, well, how you don't cry? It's because I'm alive. That's the reason why I can tell my story and not a tear drop from my eye, because I'm alive. Because I used to do 911 dispatch. There's too many calls I listened to where women lost their lives. You read it in the paper. So I'm blessed. I'm 100% blessed, man.
I'm sitting up here smiling because I just know that God has his hand on your life. And he is going to use you very, very mightily. Like, I'm talking about past what you see right now. Like, I'm just sitting here at a awe. It's just like almost like God is just like giving me previews to a movie. And I'm like, I don't even think she understands that she's getting ready to change some things in the earth. Like, I don't think you get this. Okay. Like, I'm serious. Okay. So I'm just gonna say, like, we thank you for being brave. We thank you for being obedient. We thank you for that God chose you for this path. Listen to me. Like, I don't say this loosely because a lot of people are like, what do you mean you thank her for being chosen this path? Do you hear what she just gone through? I sure did. But I know that God understood that she can handle the mandate that is on her life to be able to walk this thing out and to be able to come out and go save others.
Yes.
You know, can you imagine Harriet Tubman and all the ones that had to go and do these brilliant things that people thought they couldn't do or they thought they couldn't survive? If you were to really get in your mind and tell yourself you can't do it, you wouldn't have done it. Amen. Like literally. Amen. Like I'm just at an awe at this, and you got to continue. You got to like continue. And so I want you to just drop a word of encouragement to everyone that's watching right now, because I literally feel like someone that's watching this, maybe multiple people that have done this all of their life, that is just probably in that situation or know somebody that's in that situation. That's just like, how do I get out? But because they're going to watch this interview today, that's going to be their ticket out. That's going to be the confirmation they need. This is what's going to be the clarity to release them. So I'm gonna need you to give a word of encouragement, and then I want you to tell everybody how they can find you.
Yes. So anybody who is in any type of relationship that is not conducive to your growth, and that's just not domestic violence. I'm talking about remaining in family relationships with family members who are not helping you get to the next level. But especially my men and women who are suffering inside with their significant other. I want you to know that there is no prayer in this world that you can say that will change that person unless that person wants to be changed. There is no prayer that you can say to God because you love them that will have that person delivered from the demon that's possessed. They're possessed. I mean, there's no way around it. If you want to live, to have children, if you want to live to see your children grow up, if you want to live to see your grandchildren and clean up your bloodline, you do not need to sit here and think that your love is going to make someone decide today that they don't no longer need to abuse you emotionally, mentally, financially, physically. I want you to understand that even though you're here, the man who created you, he invented you for a reason. And you may think that you don't have a purpose, but every single person that was birthed into this world, when God created you, he designed you with a purpose. He invented you, so you definitely have a purpose. And you have to remember that even though you went through this rough patch, that God didn't want that for you. But because it happened, he said to you in Romans 8:28 that all things, that's the good and the bad, is going to work for you. So take what you are going through, you leave, find yourself, seek therapy, and take this story that you have and use it to help somebody else. You don't have to be on a huge platform. You may not be before stages. It could just be that one person that God sends your way. Your story will change their story. So I just want you to know that even though you don't feel worthy, or you may not feel like you are capable of being what you know who you are, believe me, it's in there. I'm telling you, this is somebody who has seen the worst of the worst. But I want you to know, hear me out, that believe me, your story will change someone. But in order for your story to change, you have to be alive. And that's rather if you die from stress, because I want you to understand that stress causes all kind of sickness. It causes all of these things. And like I always tell women and men, it's just a matter when. It's not if. Get out your head that it's if. It's when. But you all can reach me on Facebook. My name is Chantel Mitchell. You can also catch me on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram pages. One is called I Got You Friend, the letter IGOTU friend. And then it's at I am Shan _tell. And you can feel free to friend request me. You can inbox me. I am definitely here to help you become the best you.
Amen. I want to say this was a good show today. I really
Thank you
am
so much.
just over here smiling away because I'm just excited about what God is going to do. I get excited about people's future. Hear what I'm saying? Like I get excited about people's future. How selfish
Yes.
of me to just think about my own future when you're supposed to get excited about your brothers and
Yes.
sisters in Christ, what God is doing
Right.
in their lives. And I definitely see God putting you on an awesome trail to do
Thank
some
you.
heavy work.
Thank you for reaching out to me.
Yes. So I'm just so ecstatic about this. Ladies, I already know that both of y'all probably over there in a all. I know those faces from them too. So I already know. this is and this is what we do. But we are so glad that you came and joined us today, Chantel, and we speak blessings upon your life. That God
Blessing.
will keep doing what He does with you and opening up doors for you to be able to continue to share your story, but to also help others heal as you are
Yes.
doing. So you
Yes.
guys make sure you guys follow her, support her, stay tuned for her, because this won't be the last time you will see her face. I promise you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
promise. Okay. So
Thank
so you guys, we are coming to an end of our show, our great show. We are just ecstatic about the guests that we have coming on. I always get excited, even when I'm having a bad day. When I come on here, like all of that goes away because it's nothing like walking in purpose. That's what keeps me going. So I'm just excited when I get on here. But for those of you who are watching, speaking of excitement, we are excited that we will be gathering in October on the 16th for our sneaker ball. You know, I say sneaker ball, so that means get your dresses ready and put your sneakers on. That's what that means, okay? But we're going to be honoring some women who have came forth to tell their stories, just like this woman right here, who have came forth and were brave. That's what Tears to Purpose is founded upon. When God gave me the vision for Tears to Purpose, boy, He didn't tell me I was up against all this stuff, but it's okay. It's all right. It is all right. But we love it. We are continuing to gather women from all across the globe. Lakeisha and Jade, the two leaders of the Chicago Hub, are currently now looking for women to join them and to join the whole tribe. And we are doing a meet and greet on September the 18th. And you guys, we've been posting a flyer. If you follow me, you can see it on my page or Lakeisha's page or on the ministry's page. So make sure you do that. If you have a story to tell, we are looking for unstoppable women. That's our theme for this year, is unstoppable women who have testimonies, who have stories to tell. Like, no, we don't want you crying and boohoo, but if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But we do it in such a way called monologuing. It is a reenactment of your story, but in a way that can be reachable and understandable to the people that will be watching. So if you fit in any one of these categories, I need you to inbox me or go to my email, barnettlakia@gmail.com. But we are excited about what God is doing in this season, what He's going to do. I'm already in 2022. Did y'all catch that one? I'm already in 2022 working it out and excited about what God is getting ready to do. So if you guys are liking this show, continue to support the ministry. You guys, we are looking for monthly partners, and we're also looking for sponsorships for our show. So if you want to be a guest, also hit us up and let us know. Hey, Lakia, hey, Elder and Lakeisha and Miss Hubbard, we trying to be on the show too. Well, come on. What you waiting on? All right. So, ladies, do y'all have anything to say before we be outie 5,000?
Yes, shout out to everybody that tuned in today. Go and put a bug in their ear to be on the replay. And make sure you post that you are a replay person, the person that did the replay. You know what I'm trying to say. This needs to be watched over and over again. My mind is blown. So excuse me until next Wednesday.
Hey, honesty is the best policy, okay? So we are excited. And again, thank you, Miss Chantel Mitchell, for coming on the show. And you guys, we will see you next Wednesday. We are already going in September.
Right.
Like, I had to hit my high pitched voice. It's going in September. Okay. All right. So for all you September babies, okay, it's about to be y'all time. Okay. We see all of y'all. So y'all got birthdays. Make sure you inbox me so we can shout them out during the show and all that great stuff. And we will see you guys next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. Bye-bye. Experts, relationship experts, that is. People in ministry that have a phenomenal story. All kinds of business owners, from restaurants to beauty to financial side. We are looking for it all.